Name one benefit that a man gets from marriage that he wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Just one.
Well, I think, as a woman, if you're...
I'm asking you as a man, since you're, attacking men for being Peter Pan.
I think a lot of men who choose to get married are incentivized by the fact that they are able to claim that woman as theirs. And
but name one benefit that they would get in a marriage that they wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Well, I think even though it's not 100%, there's peace of mind that woman is going to be loyal to you.
The answer is there's none. You're dancing around it. There is none. So my thing is this. I think it's in a man's best interest to stay Peter Pan, as you would say. And I think women shame men because men gain their value in their 40s. Men understand the sexual marketplace better. They understand that women have no leverage in their 40s. And they date down and they get younger, more attractive girls. And that's the best way to go in today's day and age, where we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace where women could take everything they got, take their kids, etc. Why the hell would a guy want to commit to women nowadays when, honestly, we got wholeflation?
There's obviously more incentive for women to get married than men. Obviously.
Way more.
But what I'm suggesting is there's also benefits to men getting married. And I think...
Name one.
I just told you. I think
that he wouldn't get outside of a regular relationship.
I just told you, the women, knowing that your woman is perhaps going to be more loyal to you when she's your wife versus your girlfriend.
She should be displaying that anyway.
Well, I think...
So in the comments, Deanna wrote, God, he is disrespectful and cutting her off because she isn't telling him what he wants to hear. Brittany wrote, I would have stopped the conversation and asked, who hurt you? Your mom? Your ex? Sassy wrote, he speaks fast to throw people off. Slow down, player.
Men gain their value in their 40s. Men understand the sexual marketplace better. They understand that women have no leverage in their 40s.
When men are 40, they're not automatically higher value. Your bones get more brittle. Every 20 years, you lose an inch off of your height. Every human being and every living organism decomposes the older they get. Now, as far as women in their 40s, this hyper focus on ageism, everyone has the same amount of hours and days. No one has a longer extension. So when you're 20, whether that was 20 years ago or you're going to be 20 tomorrow, you still only have 365 days. So eventually, their woman is going to get older. He's going to get older. And then what are they going to do? Continually date down?
And that's the best way to go in today's day and age, where we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace where women could take everything they got, take their kids, etc. Why the hell would a guy want to commit to women nowadays?
What she should have told him was that he's got a skewed point of view because he's got 6 women living with him, his concubines. The moment he goes broke, he's going to end up like Diddy, so he needs to humble himself before he ends up like Kevin Samuels. And I'm not being funny, but life will hit you fast. This is the superficial point of view.
Women divorce men 70 to 80% of the time. I would argue in relationships, it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl. And what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. These hoes. He doesn't get youth anymore. So he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid. So he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her, right? And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kids. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children.
These red pill women are horrible negotiators. They're doing all of the bidding for the men, but nothing for themselves. What do you get in the deal? After stretching your womb, getting pregnant and being sick for 9 months to a year, being hyper depressed? What do you do when you have babies glued to your hip, sucking on your breast? What do you get? Talking about some youth. He should be glad that you didn't die in childbirth and make him a single father. He should be glad that your children were born with both legs and didn't have polio. What happened to survival? What happened to love?
And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it?
But
like men are logical. Sorry. They're logical people. And so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for most men.
The comment section said, Pearl literally cheated on her boyfriend. Why is she acting like she's a relationship expert? Someone else said, the main reason for divorce is infidelity. So no, women aren't just up and leaving because we want to be single and independent women. We're leaving because men leave us no choice. But I'm going to let these clips play and then we'll come back later for commentary.
We are catching on. The goal now is just to never go backwards.
Not so smart. I do wonder why women are opting out of marriages these days and men seem to be the only ones committed. It's almost as if marriage benefits men more because they get to save thousands of dollars by getting free labor and financial help from women. It's almost as if marriage provides a life of ease for men, even though they tried to spread the rhetoric that it provides the opposite. In fact, it's almost as if at this point in time, men need women more than women need men. Due to social factors, not biological ones, of course. Women are not leaving men because they're bored. They're leaving men because they're being emotionally, physically, psychologically, spiritually, financially, and reproductively abused. But I do find it ironic how my entire video was about why women are leaving, and yet you still chopped it up to boredom. Like I said, y'all are shooting yourselves in the foot when it comes to partnership.
I believe there are many reasons why cishet marriages are on the decline. And I'm not going to talk about all of them. But one thing I do think that has become very present to most women and men is that marriage is a safety net for men. And it creates essentially a village around him to prop him up. And for women, it is a risk. Marriage comes with risk. And the reason I say that, and it's not always the case, there's obviously nuance, but when you get married to a man and tie up your finances with him and have children with him, you take on a level of risk. Because typically, women are the ones who leave the workforce to care for children. Women are the ones whose careers take a back seat to their male counterparts. Women are the ones who are left without financial security when they stay at home with their children. Women incur a risk. They also incur a risk to their mental health, their emotional health, right? When you marry a male partner and he expects you to prop him up and to support him, to carry the mental load, to do all the domestic labor, to prioritize his career, to bear children for him, then you are viewed as a tool to his success. And in like historical cishet relationships, it didn't flow both ways. I think there's tons of marriages where it does, and that's, mine is one of them. But it's not common for everybody to have that type of dynamic, to have a partnership that truly does flow both ways, where you both have financial security, where you both have emotional security, where you both have ample opportunity and support to achieve what it is you want to achieve. So there's tons of data around the fact that men who are married live longer, and women who are married live shorter lives, and women who are single live longer lives. Women who are single tend to be happier, right? There are these statistics, and men who are single are less happy. And there's also statistics around men following a divorce or the death of a partner getting married very quickly, whereas women will stay single for longer. Because marriage, traditional marriage, was built around men and creating success and happiness for them, but it was not centered around women. And so they are less happy in traditional marriages. And so that is why I talk so much about finding equity in a relationship. That is why I advocate for women to always have some sort of social safety nets around them, because marriage does come with risk. And that might sound negative, but I believe in the institution of marriage if it works for you and your partner. I am obviously married, but I do think it comes with a risk. I have taken more hits to my career and to my mental health becoming a parent and a wife than I believe my partner has. And that's not his fault, but I think that is societal. It is, our world is built for and about and in support of men. And marriage is a part of that.
I posted a tweet on Twitter like 2 days ago or whatever. And it was basically like a little, I would honestly classify it as like a prayer for the type of man that I want. I'm finna put it up. Hold on. I said I want an attentive man, a thoughtful man, a considerate man, a romantic man, a giving man, a loving man. Oh my God. 1 million views, 5,000 some retweets, 512 quotes. The men are in shambles. They're literally in my replies, in my comments, absolutely going berserk because I stated what I want out of a man. A lot of them have resorted to just calling me a hoe, or that I just want money and that all I have to offer is sex. Mind you, they don't know who I am at all. You're literally just a stranger on the internet deciding to interact with a tweet that for some reason upset you because I want to have a standard of the type of man that I want in my life. It's honestly so sad because nothing I said here was super vain. And obviously, if this is something that I desire out of the partner that I want to be with in life, it's also something that I provide myself. I feel like that's a given. If you want these things out of a person, it's because you yourself would give that as well. Like that's a given. I don't understand. Great, what will you do for that man? We've really, I really don't understand how we as a society and just even as a community are going to get anywhere when we still have people that think like this. Are you serious? Do you not understand what a woman simply brings to a man's life? Do you not understand I think you just need to pick one. If she's black and lives in LA, so then the conversation started turning to about me and who I am and why I'm essentially not deserving of these things because of whatever they could pull from my Twitter account. It's honestly really sad. Like, it's super sad. But then y'all wonder every day why black women then turn and start dating other races, because this is all coming from black men. These are all majority of the men speaking so poorly on me, on who I am as a person and everything. It's other black men. It's really sad. It's not going to change who I desire and who I want out of life. Still know that I'm going to get exactly what I want and what I deserve. But it's just sad. And I see why so many, there were so many women that were like, amen, this is literally my prayer. Like, this is a prayer. And then you got gross ass motherfuckers like this. Y'all do realize that you need women, right? You literally need women in life. You cannot create life without a woman. That the benefit that a woman brings to your life it's worth more than anything that you can't take when you go. You cannot take your money. You cannot take your things. You cannot take nothing. You leave this earth and what's left of you is your legacy. That is what a woman provides to you. On top of all of the other things that I listed, that she's loving and that she's attentive and that she's thoughtful and that she's considerate of you. But she literally gives you life. She's brought you into this world and she's giving you the opportunity to do that with your legacy. Like, what? Y'all so badly don't even realize how much you literally like other men. In return, what does he get? Go be with your bro. Go be with your bros. If you don't understand what you get out of it, then you simply shouldn't be dating women.
Fellas, I don't know if you are intentionally or subconsciously being confused by what we mean when we say we would rather stay single, but it's not because we don't want a relationship. It's not because we don't want companionship, partnership. The problem is, why would we get into a relationship specifically with a man when it does not improve the conditions of our lives, or at the very least maintain the status of life that I currently provide to myself? Why? So if I'm financially stable, emotionally stable, if I go to therapy, if I have taken the time to build a genuine connection with people around me, a community, why would I want a relationship with a man who has not even taken steps to improve his own life, but want to be in a relationship with me? Why?
If you stay single and build your business and put all that effort and energy into what you're trying to create, you don't have to worry about a man sabotaging your business, trying to clout chase off of what you've done. And I understand that if you have somebody and you care about him, you don't want him to feel some kind of way. A lot of women try to protect a man's ego because they feel like, well, he has help. He ain't gave you no real money. You know what I mean? Like, it's these men want attention. They don't even really want to work and get money. They just want the attention. My daughter's father opened my first salon for me. He bought the space. He did the build out. His father was the electrician. He did all the electrical work. He did all that for me. He didn't have to go around telling everybody what he did. He did that for my daughter. He did that for me. It's like nowadays a man will give you the bare minimum or invest the bare minimum, but he want all the accolades off of your hard work. You really the one that went to the bank and got that funding. You the one who did the footwork and finding some place and getting a location. He just probably gave you $2-3, and now he thinking that, you know, he want to let everybody know, like, yeah, this is what I did, and he didn't do that. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If a woman is successful in her business and she has a man, you guaranteed you done gave that man about 20 other women that he probably wouldn't have had if didn't nobody even know about y'all. The colder that you are, the stronger that you are, the more successful that you are as a female, whatever man you with, he's going to get the attention of other women based off of you and what you've done for yourself, because women going to think that he did it.
Stay single. Did you hear me? Stay single. Don't rush into nothing with nobody for no reason. If you're a teenager, stay single. If you're in your 20s, stay single. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, stay single. Always have your own. Always be able to survive on your own. Don't ever try to depend on anybody for anything. I don't care what they say. People lie. A lot of times people use that to use it against you. Sometimes people do things for you to control you. If you're marrying for money, make sure this is a great business deal. If you're marrying for fame, make sure this is a great business deal. If you're marrying for love, make sure they actually love you, because people, what? They lie. Which is why you should, what? Always put yourself first no matter what. Not even just ahead of your romantic relationships, ahead of your friendship. Because most of these people will not be there in the long run. 5 years, they're gone. 5 minutes, they're gone. Everybody's changing these days. You can't trust nobody for nothing. Prioritize yourself. Always choose yourself. Put your career first. For the love of God, put your career and your education first. Choose yourself, always. And don't have any babies that you can't take care of, that you don't feel like raising. Don't ever get with somebody just because you don't want to be alone. Don't ever let somebody get with you just because they don't want to be alone. Don't ever get into a relationship on the basis of connecting through trauma. Bonding through trauma is not it. It's not cute. It's not the way. That does not mean that is the love of your life. That is somebody else that is just as messed up as you are, and you both need therapy.
So I just watched a video of a woman talking about her ex-husband and how replaceable women are for men. And I can attest to this. It's crazy. So in my youth, I was raised by the patriarchy, as most of us women are. It wasn't until much later that I understood my worth, but we'll get to that later. So being married, I did everything. I cooked, I cleaned, I set up events, I had the friends, I made the dates. I did everything for this man. Everything. And anytime I asked for help, there was always backlash and an argument. It was a manipulative tactic, and eventually it got into fear tactics, if you know what I'm saying. There was a time where I had this really great job, and then he convinced me to quit it, and then got mad when I was not bringing any money when he asked me to quit my job. There was a point where our money was combined, but we would get allowances every month or week so that I could spend my own money. It was so nuts. Meanwhile, this man's setting up his studio in our house, spending money galore. Our expenses are crazy. Crazy, and that's not for me, because I have anxiety now about spending money because of his manipulative tactic. So to say that the man benefits more than the woman, 100%. I was losing my hair out of anxiety. I was walking on eggshells around this man. When I finally decided to end the marriage, and this is after months of fighting through therapy, we really tried. He grew up in a religious household, so divorce was not really in the picture, but it was in the picture for us. So I finally am like, all right, I'm done with this. This is so toxic. I cannot do this mentally. I'm very ill. Finally, I put myself into therapy because I felt like I was a crazy person, but it was really a narcissist manipulation tactic, right? So get out of the marriage. A month out of that, he already has a new girlfriend. Trades in one for the other, right? This person has a rough background, so she's can put up with his BS. I'm learning my own worth at this point, and which is why I'm finally I'm done. I can't be in this. I cannot be in this for years and years and years with a person who doesn't even value me as a person. There's no way. That's clearly, you need somebody else for that. But it's not going to be me, and I feel so bad for this woman. Because that just shows her walk in life, right? A month into us separating, the divorce papers haven't even been drafted yet. 2 months later, he already has this woman pregnant. If it's not, they're not married yet. Even to this day, this was 4 or 5 years later. They're not married. Nope, but I bet you he's dangling that carrot. I bet you he's dangling that carrot because he wants to keep her, right? And that's an interesting space to be in. Now you have kids and you're dangling the carrot of marriage to get her to stay. Manipulation, right? And I asked him before we signed the divorce papers, and I never talked to him again, why did you ask me to get married? Like, why did you want to marry me? It's such a weird thing for someone like just to want and to push. Why? And he was like, oh, I don't know. He knew. He knew that he wanted me to take care of him. He had severe mother trauma. He wanted someone to take care of him, do everything for him, and he wanted someone he thought he could manipulate. And early on in our dating, yeah, I was a little bit more malleable. But as we got older and I had to fight for my literal well-being and health, that was not the same woman, and he needed to trade me out. So it's interesting how it benefits men over women.
There's a lot about the experience that women are having with dating when so many would rather just have a cat. So massive difference between what men think makes dating hard versus what women are actually.
Let's talk about it from the women's perspective here, because I think a lot of women will back me up when I say it's so irritating that these boys will constantly complain that women don't want to date them. And then when we try to tell them nicely why, they just continue to ignore us and complain. Because guess what? 15%, an all-time high of boys surveyed, said they had 0 close friendships and relationships in their life. So if you're not listening to women, listen to each other, because apparently boys don't even really want boys in their lives. Let's talk about it. And I want to give credit to those 2 creators as my first example here. They did an amazing job, and the entire time I was watching their videos, the whole time I was watching their videos, I was just thinking, are they really this attractive right now? Or are they just self-aware and speaking with empathy for the struggles of women? And that right there shows you what women are actually looking for. Interestingly enough, most men reported are single. Most women are not. When you look at the stats from Gen Z, you'll see about 63% of the boys are single reportedly. But only 34% of the women our age are single. And for this poll of millennials and Gen Xers combined, roughly, you'll see that men are still on average more single than the women. And boys' main argument for always being like 90% of the users on dating apps are men. They're not actually. Only 62% of the users on dating apps reportedly are men. That's a pretty decent ratio. So clearly there's not a huge lack of women and men to be partnered together. And we have to take into account that there are LGBTQ men and women. So why are the majority of women who date men choosing to be single instead of having to deal with dating? Why has a woman decided that a cat is better than dealing with a boy? Well, ladies, let's talk about it and give them the answers here today. Relationship standards have been raised slightly, yes, but not in the way that boys complain about them. We expect boys to have greater skills, but what are these skills? These skills are things like better communication, empathy, understanding, emotionally available, and sharing our values. Sharing our values brings up another great point. More young women now are trending more to the left than before, and men aren't following the pattern quite as heavily as women. And yes, we can be kind and get along with people on the right. That's not the issue. I have some mutuals that lean towards the right. When it comes to a lifelong partner, women really do want someone who shares those core values and basic human beliefs, which means that these divides not keeping up with each other are going to have a greater impact on dating. I also really love the points that this article brought up. There is a huge double standard when it comes to dating choices and safety. The burden of choosing the right partner feels like it always falls on the girls. But then we're always being yelled at and told to give a guy a chance regardless of whether we're attracted to that man. But then if we get into an unsafe relationship, the women are blamed for choosing the wrong man and just letting any man have a chance. So we're supposed to choose the right partner, and we're told to give everybody a chance, but don't just be giving everybody a chance. But if you don't give everybody a chance, then you're just being too picky. But also, if you're not picky enough, then it's your fault for choosing that man. Yeah, no wonder most women are just opting out of this song and dance. A lot of men, for some reason, simply lack empathy or don't have great social skills. And we're not here to parent you into learning those things anymore. Again, the way men have treated women has just burnt us all out from dating. All of these double standards are exhausting to deal with. And then a big one I hear all the time, many women feel like men just don't actually even like women. Even the way a lot of boys treat us and talk about us and behave and scrutinize and pick us apart. It's like, do you even like us? Okay, because at the end of the day, then you complain that you don't have a girl. But it doesn't even seem like you really like them. And for that cherry on top, study after study after study are coming out saying that women are just happier being single nowadays. So it's really not like boys are competing with the top 10% of men. You're competing with our happiness, our peace, our quiet time, our joy. It's like I always explain to my family when they ask, it's so hard for me to date because I am like genuinely very happy all alone. So when I actually find a man, not only do I have to find one that doesn't add more stress into my life, but you have to somehow bring more joy to it as well, as I would hope that I bring them as well. I like to believe I bring my partner a lot of joy in life.
8 reasons why you should be single. Number 1, you can do whatever, whenever you want. You want to go on that girls trip? You want to go to Ibiza with the girls? Absolutely. You want to go to Ibiza with all your single friends? Absolutely. You don't want to answer someone back? Don't. You have no one but to report to. Number 2, figure out your worth. Figure out, or even like understand your worth. Like acknowledge what you bring to the table and acknowledge what you don't. Find your flaws and find what you need to work on within the time being, or you know what you don't want to work on and what you want just somebody else to bring to the table. Number 3, learn how to be alone. And when I say learn how to be alone, I mean learn how to be alone for days on end, hours on end, weeks on end. You don't have to, but like you could. You don't need anybody. And you're not even lonely when you're with yourself because you take yourself to do things by yourself. You don't need someone to go on a date with because you can do that yourself. You don't need someone to watch a movie with because you can do that on yourself. Like, learn how to be alone and be happy with it. Number 4, I think I'm on. Number 4, be independent. Learn how to be independent because independence is the hottest thing in the world, especially to bring into a new relationship. Number 5, you save money. I mean, I don't know if you're like me, but I spoil my man. I spoil him. I'll pay for dinner sometimes. I'll take him out. I'll use my card, take the gas. Like, I'll buy the Uber Eats after the club. Like, I'll go drink for drink with you. Like, I'm sorry, but being a girl is a blessing. We do not have to pay for a drink at the bar at all if we don't want to. And also, you don't have to go on a date with anyone else. You don't have to pay for that second person. You're only paying for yourself. You're saving money. Number 6, I think. Learn who you are and what you like and what you want and what you like in yourself and what you want. Like, do you even like tall, blonde boys, blue eyes? Do you even like that? Learn what you like and what you want. Number 7, it's time for your revenge body, your revenge lifestyle. You do not need to worry about anyone else's plans. What does he want to do? Doesn't matter. You don't have him anymore. You don't have a boy. You don't need to worry about what they want to do, what you're trying to plan your day around. When you come home, you have to take time because they want to watch a show. No. If you haven't worked out today, go do it because you have all the time in the world because it's just you and your only priorities are yourself. Are yourself and your family and friends. But yourself, mainly. Go to the gym more than you can before. Get that revenge body, baby girl. And number 8, you do not have to worry. You do not have to create a fake profile to stalk anyone. You do not have to worry if a girl's flirting with him at the bar when you're not there. You don't have to worry at all if someone tells you something that might have happened, that probably didn't, but might have, because you're on your own.
Okay, reasons why you should stay single right now, okay? Number 1, if you don't actually know your intention for dating, like if you are going into dating on any sort of app out there, not having an idea of your intention or why you want to date, then you should not be dating. If you are on a dating app to be like, yeah, I'm out here having fun, I want to connect with new people, I want a relationship, I want this, I want that. Like if you go into it knowing exactly what you want, great, keep dating, that's great. If you have no freaking clue what you are doing when it comes to dating, I would highly recommend you need to stay single and just, that means you need to focus on yourself, right? Because you don't know what you're doing. You're just going to confuse other people. Everyone's going to be confused. So just, no. If you don't know what you're doing, get off the dating app. Number 2, if you are using people to get over someone else, whether it be an ex, a situationship, I don't care who they are. If you are going out there dating thinking that's fine, this person is going to help me get over my ex or my situationship or whatever, I'm just going to focus on someone else, you should not be dating. Because I'll tell you why. Because you are just going to end up hurting other people around you when you need to just sit in your own solitude for a little bit and just figure out who you are and what you want, instead of bringing other people into your shit and then causing more drama and more hurt. Just, you should not be dating. Number 3, if you have no idea what you're doing with your life and it's just one big question mark, you don't know like anything, like your career, like you just one big question mark, you don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life, you probably should not be dating. And you know why you shouldn't be dating when it's just one big question mark and one big I don't know? Because you are going to attract uncertain, unsure people into your life that are also like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know who I am, I don't know where I'm going, blah, 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 I don't know, one big question mark. If they have one big question mark over their head, you have one big question mark over your head, you're going to be attracting a lot of people with question marks over their heads. So if you were just uncertain, unsettled, unsure of so many things, you should not be dating, because you are just going to attract those types of people. Number 4, if you are dating out of fear of being alone forever, or just fear of being by yourself, and you just feel like you need someone there, you just have spent too much time alone and you're just like worrying about it, you should not be dating if you fear being alone. Big red flag for yourself, because there is absolutely nothing wrong with being in your own solitude and being by yourself and getting to know yourself on a deeper level. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that, and the right person will come into your life at the exact moment that they are meant to enter your life. If you go out there dating in desperation and fear, you're like, I need to find someone, flip, you're just like going through the app, just swipe, because you fear being alone for the rest of your life, or you fear just being by yourself in solitude, you should not be dating. Because you know why? You are going to make irrational decisions when it comes to dating. You are just going to pick anyone off the apple tree, the lowest hanging fruit, in order for you to feel better about yourself, in order for you to feel like you're not alone. But you know what? Everyone out here is alone. Everyone out here is doing their own thing. Everyone out here is focusing on themselves. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. The minute you start to embrace solitude and enjoy your own company, you are going to attract the right people into your life, the people that are sure of themselves. If you were just picking anyone in terms of desperation, you are going to ignore all these red flags about people, and you're not going to be attracting the right type of people into your life, because you, my friend, are not at your highest good. You are reaching out to people, swiping on apps in desperation, in fear, in loneliness, all this negative energy. You are putting that out there. You are going to get that back. So get to know yourself, embrace the discomfort, embrace your solitude, embrace the unknown, and watch, when you reach your highest good, you are going to attract the best apples on the tree.
I'm happy knowing that I have the choice to be single and that I don't need anybody. And it's more likely that you could become your own rich man instead of seeking it out in the dating pool. This toxic dating pool, they don't care about anybody's feelings. People are doing whatever they want and trying to get ahead as quickly as possible. This is the age of instant gratification. You heard the guys. All they care about is using your youth and then passing on to the next one. No one's planning for retirement. Heck, they're not even planning for their own youth to expire. Who's going to take care of them in a nursing home? And Sukiyana, this popular stripper, or model rather, she sat there and said, man, y'all are in the nursing homes by yourselves because of the way y'all treat people. Y'all don't plan for when y'all video game is over. Y'all just keep thinking everything is going to be fun and glitz and glam. But the reality is, everyone's got a ticking time. And God doesn't play or wait for anybody.